All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight I'm going to be discussing why I feel YouTube is not censoring anyone, and I have proof, also known as receipts. So stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about. All of that and much, much more is coming right. Whoa! Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications. That's what I'm trying to say, those notifications at a device level. When you do all of that, you're good to go. You are good to go. Let me make sure this is all going through. Let me just make sure that we are rolling good. Stream health looks excellent. And it looks like we are all set to go. Fantastic, fantastic. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is not going to be too terribly long of a show. I just want to make a few very valid points regarding why I feel and know for a fact, 100%, that YouTube is not censoring anyone, despite what many other people have said, including our wonderful president of the U.S., Mr. Donald J. Trump, or President Donald J. Trump. And while, his executive order the other day was more so geared towards what Twitter did to him, he feels this way about all social media platforms. And, it seems like to me, this is more of a feeling that the right wingers, especially the right wing extremists, have had. Because there's always been an issue out here on YouTube and other social media platforms, but primarily out here on YouTube. It seems to be that the right wingers are more so getting shut down, for violating the terms of service. And they seem to blame it on the fact that, it's not a fact. They seem to blame it on YouTube being more of a left-wing type of company. They seem to feel that YouTube has the leftist agenda. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. YouTube is a neutral platform. And even though I am a slightly left liberal, I'm slightly to the left, I am very neutral when I speak on politics, because, sometimes, the left is not right and the right is correct. And other times the right, is not right and the left is correct. Sometimes the opposite side of my political party is correct, right? It just happens that way. And see, I'm the type of person that's open-minded enough to be able to understand that and, agree with some of the things that, the opposite party that I support says and does. But it just seems like the right-wingers are not open to anything on the left. And they seem to blame everything on the left instead of putting the blame on themselves for their behavior. In my opinion, I've always said, from what I've experienced, that people on the right seem to be more edgy with their content. They seem to push the guidelines more. They seem to present things in more attacking ways. They seem to use more racial slurs or racial slurs in general. They seem to say very hateful and derogatory things, about women. The men at least do, right? And, there are many different ways you can actually, make the same type of statement without being hateful. I talk about women all the time. I talk about feminism all the time. I talk about politics sometimes. And recently I even talked about, Donald J. Trump's executive order and how I thought he was abusing his power, which is a very controversial topic. And because of something that happened today to my channel, I wanted to go live and discuss this and prove to you folks how fair YouTube is. As long as you present your content in honest, ethical, mature, and professional ways. And if you don't present your content in honest, ethical, mature, and professional ways, then you know what? You're susceptible to the guidelines and how YouTube, wants to, lay them on you based on how you're violating them. Again, based on how you're presenting your content. Again, like I've always said, you can say the same thing in many different ways and get your point across without having to attack people, use racial slurs, etc. Right? But this is one thing that I've always seen the right-wingers struggle with, especially the right-wing Caucasian, conservative Caucasian men, right? The right-wingers, right? I'm not being disrespectful or prejudiced. I'm just stating the facts that I've seen. And again, these people, when they get taken down for violating guidelines, they go to YouTube and say, okay, YouTube, you're just silencing conservative speech. Even President Donald Trump was saying, oh, social media platforms are just trying to silence conservative speech. No, sir, they're not. They are just, adhering or they're just actually, abiding by their guidelines. That's the best way to put it. Okay? They're just laying out the guidelines to everyone equally, whether you're on the left or on the right. So what happened on Friday after I did my stream regarding President Trump's executive order? And I titled it Donald Trump's. Let me tell you exactly what I titled it. Give me 1 second here because I want to get the title absolutely correct. Okay, give me just 1 second here. The title of the stream was, is President Trump abusing his power with his executive order on social media censorship? Now, when I created that title, now I am a monetized channel, and I did monetize that video. But when I created that title, I knew it was a controversial topic that would more than likely get me demonetized, also known as the yellow icon, which means not suitable for most advertisers. I started my stream, the icon was green. By the time the stream ended, the icon was yellow. When it's green, it's fully monetized. When it's yellow, it's not suitable for most advertisers. After the stream ended, it got demonetized. And I'm like, okay, I can understand why it got demonetized, but I don't think I said anything wrong. I presented my material maturely, professionally, and, the right way. I didn't attack anyone. I didn't even attack the president or anything. I just stated the facts. I stated my opinion on what I believe are the facts based on the facts that I've seen. But all I was doing was stating my opinion in the mature and professional and honest way, right? So I submitted that video for manual review. Now, a few hours later, the video turned green. And typically when YouTube approves your video for, or under manual review, they'll send you an email immediately after your video turns green. I did not get that email. So what I assumed happened, which I now know is exactly what happened, the monetization status flipped back to green on its own. So what happens is, you do a stream. Until you start your stream, your monetization status is always green. Then during the stream, YouTube will look at the title, they'll look at the description, they'll look at the tags, they'll look at the thumbnail, and then they'll either keep it monetized or demonetize it. Well, they demonetized my video during the stream. At the end of the stream, it was still demonetized, so then I submitted it for manual review. Then it flipped back to green on its own before a human reviewer could get to it. I was like, cool, it flipped back to green, right? I didn't get the email, so I was assuming that, hey, and now I know for a fact that it flipped back to green on its own. This is all being done by the artificial intelligence, okay? Then, the next morning, it flipped back to yellow, not suitable for most advertisers, and it stayed that way. So I was thinking to myself, well, maybe the video is now going to be under manual review. So I went into my creator studio, on the back end of my channel, and it said under review. Lo and behold, let me tell you what happened a few hours ago, earlier today. Let me switch over to that screen to show you folks receipts. I got this email from YouTube, and it says, "Hi, A Grip on Life. Great news. After manually reviewing your video, we've determined that it is suitable for all advertisers. Is President Trump abusing his power with his executive order on social media censorship? Thanks, the YouTube team." A human reviewer reviewed my video titled, "Is Donald Trump abusing his power with his executive order on social media censorship?" So this is what I determined. I just proved it because typically I haven't been the type of creator that will, do more edgy content or create more edgy type of titles that I know are going to trigger the YouTube artificial intelligence to automatically demonetize my video. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. It's a great title. I'm not going to be violating guidelines. And even if I get demonetized, let's see what happens if I place it under manual review, especially during a time where Trump is doing this executive order, attacking companies like YouTube and trying to change things and make things really bad when they're not really bad as they are right now, as I'm going to prove to you folks, okay? So this is what I think happened. What I think happened is the artificial intelligence saw a controversial, it saw a controversial title. And because of that, it automatically demonetized the video. And it wasn't saying that I violated any guidelines. I did not. But because the content or the title had an edgy type of controversial, title, the artificial intelligence was not sure if it should monetize it or not. It needs to go to a human reviewer. But in order to do that, I have to notice that, which I do. I always check my monetization status on all my videos, and I submit it for manual review. So because the artificial intelligence cannot determine how I presented the material regarding a title that has a controversial, topic, a human reviewer must review it to see how I presented it, the context I presented it in, the verbiage I used. Did I attack anybody? Did I use any racial slurs? Or was I professional and to the point? And was I stating my opinions in proper ways? And after manually reviewing my video, YouTube determined that I did it the right way. And I just proved that, in essence, you can talk about any topic on YouTube as long as you present it professionally, properly, maturely, and within the guidelines. Now, you can't show nudity and stuff like that, but when it comes to controversial topics, as long as you state your opinions and you don't attack people, you don't use racial slurs, you don't, degrade women or degrade men or, degrade homosexuals or anything like that, as long as you don't do something like that, they're going to approve you every time. So for those of you out there that are thinking you're being silenced because of your conservative speech, in essence, what is your conservative speech? Because you folks out there talk about the same topics I talk about. Many of you talk about Donald Trump all the time, and you get demonetized. Or you talk about welfare queens, or you talk about feminism, or a wide variety of other controversial topics, and you get demonetized every single time. Or you get community guidelines, or community guideline violations or strikes. Why do you get those and I don't? You get those because you take it a bit too far by attacking those groups beyond just stating your opinion about what's going on. I can talk about welfare queens and say, hey, look, maybe there are some women out there that take advantage of the welfare system. It's not my place to attack them. But what I will say is that I really wish this wouldn't happen, and that there was a better way for the government to crack down on this, because for the people that really need those benefits, they may not be available. If someone is getting those benefits that doesn't deserve to get those benefits or is playing the system. I just presented that professionally and maturely. I did not attack those women. I did not attack a specific race of women that some creators out here seem to think more so are welfare queens than other races. That has nothing to do with race. Okay? Anybody can apply for welfare. Okay? The reason why many of you out there are getting demonetized is because you handle it that way. And who handles it? Who so happens to handle running their content in these hateful ways? Typically, it's the right-wingers. So I have a question to ask all of you conservative folks out there, especially you conservative extremists, okay? Can you tone down your content a little bit? Talk about the same things professionally and maturely, without hate speech, without racial slurs, without attacking people, okay? Without doxing people, okay? Without, degrading women for being women. If you cut all that out and just, decided to stick to the facts, you wouldn't get demonetized or get community guideline strikes. But see, many of you conservatives out there get your traction because you're so edgy, you push the guidelines. You already know, in essence, you're pushing the guidelines to be more edgy, to get all eyes on you, and you risk being shut down. And even though you already know you're pushing the guidelines, you're okay with it until that day comes where YouTube, in this case, takes action and starts striking your channel down, leading up to shutting your channel down after you get too many infractions, 3 strikes and you're out, right? Queen Helen Casey says, hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli. Sorry I'm a little late. I just got done doing a video. No worries, Queen. You don't have to always be here. No worries. Come and go as you wish. You're like family here. I've been really hooked on this topic lately, Queen, because as you see my screen, Queen? You see, this is the stream I did the other day, Queen, was a very controversial topic. I got demonetized on it because the artificial intelligence could not tell the context I was presenting my material. So I submitted it for manual review, and look, they approved it and said it is suitable for all advertisers because I presented a controversial topic in mature, proper, and professional ways with no hate speech, no vulgar language, no attacking of anyone, right? And that's all I'm saying to people out there. That's all you have to do. And this is the other thing that I really wish our president would understand. I'm not trying to criticize our president, Queen. I'm not. No problem with Donald saying anything he wants to say. But why can't he just present it a little more maturely and professionally? And then he wouldn't be dealing with these fact checks or these, terms of service violations on other platforms. It's pretty simple, folks. It's pretty simple. Another thing that I've been talking about is, why would you want to attack other people? Are you that horrible of a person? Do you hate yourself that much? Are you so insecure within yourselves that you feel the need to present your content in hateful ways, right? Are you just a hateful person? Forget about the guidelines for a second. Let me go back to full screen here. Forget about the guidelines for a second. Look at yourself deep within. Does it make you happy coming out here on YouTube? And I know many people do this and they eventually get shut down or they get strikes and stuff like that. Do you folks feel good attacking other people? Do you feel good, using racial slurs and calling people the N-word or the many other racial slurs, regarding many of our other, wonderful cultures out there? I mean, seriously, again, forget about the guidelines and think about yourself, how you want to present yourself, how you want to live your life. You see, the conservatives are out here complaining that their conservative speech is being silenced. No, it's not. I'm sick and tired of hearing conservatives saying that conservative speech is being silenced. It is not. Thank you, Queen, for banning that person, but I think I'm going to read that comment anyway. All right. I want to read this because this is the problem that right-wingers have. Conservative male, which I have a feeling I know who you are, okay? But it doesn't matter because that's what a lot of conservatives say. We should have to censor, I think you meant to say we shouldn't have to censor ourselves. Free speech means all speech. The Constitution doesn't say you have the freedom of speech as long as no one's feelings get hurt. This is not about people's feelings getting hurt, dude. This is about the type of person you want to be. Now, granted, you're correct about that. In your own home, if you want to use racial slurs all day long, and let's say you have an African-American friend and you bring him over and you start calling him the N-word, that's on you. I think that's rude. I think that's very rude. But in your own home, say what you got to say, what you want to say. But if you come into my house and you start behaving that way, I'm going to kick your ass out. And that's my right to do so, sir. Just like it is YouTube's right to not allow hate speech, inappropriate content, vulgar language. That is all part of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. No one is trying to take away your freedom of speech, conservative male. But even if all these platforms allowed everyone to just have freedom of reign and attack everyone left and right with racial slurs and all that, right? Is that how you want to live your life? Is that the type of person you want to be? Are you that angry and bitter within yourself because your life is so miserable that you have to project that onto others? Because I want to live a happy, positive life. And racial slurs, attacking people, and hating on women for just being women like some of you guys do. It's pathetic, man. Is that the way you want to live your life? I certainly don't. See, that's why many conservatives get banned from platforms like YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, right? Because here's what conservatives, I've seen conservatives do, not all of them, but a lot of them. This is more so a conservative thing than a liberal thing, from what I have noticed, my opinion, okay? Is that, let's say YouTube takes down a video from a conservative content creator. And let's say it's a content creator I've been following. So then this content creator does a live stream and says, YouTube just took down my video because I'm conservative. No, they took down your video because you violated the terms of service, community guidelines, or copyright guidelines, or both, right? But instead of taking that warning and not doing it again, what do? You guys go out there and create a live stream talking about it, and then you say, F YouTube. I'm not going to, now, YouTube, this is for example purposes. I'm not saying this to you. I love you guys. You guys go out there and say, F YouTube for moderating their platform in the proper ways because you violated guidelines. You violated their terms of service, which has nothing to do with your freedom of speech. You're allowed to talk about anything you want to talk about. Just do it maturely, professionally, and respectfully. Why can't you do that? If you're all decent people, there's no reason why you should not be able to maturely present any type of content like I do. So conservative male, and I believe I know who you are. It's not a big deal. That's all you guys do. You guys whine and complain that you're being silenced. No, you're not. Because here's the thing. For me, it has nothing to do with being a liberal or a conservative, left or right. Throw out the political parties and let's just talk man to man, dude. Let's talk man to man. Forget about the political parties. Your attitude, to me, is horrid. It's horrible. And I wouldn't want to be around a person like you, despite your political views. Even if I agreed with your political views, even if I was a conservative extremist like you seem to be, I would not want to be around you because you have a horrific, horrible attitude where you feel that it should be your right to attack people, use racial slurs, call women derogatory names, etc., because you say it's part of your freedom of speech. Well, technically, it is in your own home, and that's it. In my home, you would never do that. I would whoop your ass if you did it in my home. I'd kick your ass out. It's ridiculous, folks. And what I noticed more so, and this is just my opinion, again, I'm stating my opinion. What I noticed more so from the conservative side of things is that the conservatives are much more emotional, you know, when it comes to pretty much everything, including the men. A lot of the conservative men seem to be more emotional and have greater difficulty handling their emotions than liberal men. I'm not trying to stereotype. All I'm stating is what I've seen. What I've seen since I've been on YouTube, and I even saw the same thing when I used to do in-person networking events. I had friends that were liberal and conservative, and it was the same thing. The conservative men, you know, the conservative men could not handle as much emotionally as the liberal men. The conservative men would get butthurt much more easily. And I could never understand that. And I still don't understand that. Still don't understand that. Thank you for moderating the chat, Queen. Just get all those before before they even show up. The spam filter will catch them. That dude's going to jail in 1 month. Well, you know who it is, Queen, right? Queen, you know who that is. Queen, it's our buddy. Today is June 1st. 30 days to go. I can't wait. I can't wait. 30 days to go. He's just mad because I was able to put a copyright strike on his main channel for uploading my 2-year-old meltdown video that is still my copyright even though I don't run that channel anymore. So it's all good, dude. It's all good, dude. You don't faze me, dude. None of you faze me. It's all good. I'm just here to state my opinions. That's all. And see, this is the thing. This is how much I respect Queen Helen Casey. Like I said before, Queen Helen Casey is not an extremist, but she's slightly more to the right, and I'm slightly to the left. Her and I are not extremists, okay? But she's slightly to the right, I'm slightly to the left. But I think Queen just wants what's best for the overall aspect of everyone. I think Queen cares about the world and cares about people in general. And even if her and I disagree on a few things, we can respectfully disagree. I keep saying this daily, but it's the perfect example. We can respectfully disagree and learn from each other and move forward. I have a lot of respect for you, Queen. I do. Queen, you, Mutt Nuts Reviews, Stephanie Ellis, a.k.a. Super Steph, Rhonda Grace Exploring, and a few others, Alex the Beer Master, Colin Butters, a.k.a. Colin's Trivia. You folks are some of the most amazing and reasonable people that I've ever met out here on YouTube. And in my life, too. You're very reasonable people, and I appreciate that. And folks, that's all I ask, is for people to be reasonable. We can talk about anything and everything. You can come here and challenge me on whatever you want to challenge me on, as long as you do it respectfully, professionally, and maturely. If all you're going to do is come out here and project your insecurities and try to use my channel as an outlet to just, spew out your hate because you hate yourself, right? Then I don't want that here, right? I don't. But I'm willing to listen to and go toe-to-toe with anyone that's reasonable. Because how can you have, Queen, let me ask you this. How can you have an honest political debate with anyone that's not reasonable? You can't, right? If someone is completely unreasonable, Queen, what's the point of debating someone like that? You're not going to get anywhere, right? And that's part of the issue I've had with some of these trolls and haters that I've met from the other side, because the majority of them are conservative extremists, and I'm a slight left liberal that's a coach, right? So, in all honesty, it doesn't even matter what I say out here. The fact that I'm a slight left liberal and a coach, it already, puts me at the bottom of their totem pole before I even say anything, right? So why should I even engage with people like that are not reasonable one bit, right? You can't reason with the morons. That's right. You're right. You're right, Queen. But see, I can reason with you, even though our views are slightly different. They're not totally different, but they're slightly different. But I still respect your views because you're a mature, professional, and honest and reasonable person. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to get through to me. If those other people could learn that, then they'd be welcome back here. Or if they already knew that before they got booted, they would have never been booted. So again, I understand that the conservatives out there that say the Constitution, when the Constitution says freedom of speech is just that, freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say. You're right. You're right. in your own home. You can say whatever you want. Okay? If you run your own business, you can say whatever you want. Now, if you have employees and you're running a business and you're going around and calling your employees racial slurs, they're going to sue you for discrimination. So what are you going to say about that, right? So let me ask you conservatives this, right? Do you feel that it is within your freedom of speech to discriminate against hiring someone because of the color of their skin? It's the same thing as coming out here on YouTube and talking about welfare queens like some other dude does, and then picking out one specific race and saying that these, I'm not going to say that, I don't want to get demonetized or get removed, but you know what I want to say? They call them the N-word. Right? And they talk about, they talk about the topic beyond what it should be talked about. We don't need to go as far and say, this specific race, abuses the welfare system more than others. Let me say that one more time. We don't need to go out there and say that. Now, if there's some truth to that and you want to present it properly, you can say, well, according to a recent study, the Asian culture, the African American culture, the Hispanic culture are the top three, blah, 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 that file for welfare or whatever, right? You can present it a different way without attacking the race, right? But see, these people attack the race because it's entertaining to their audience, and it's risque, and it's going to get certain creators more traction for pushing the boundaries at that level. The funny thing is, the doctor is here and he thinks he's ruining my life, and he's not. He's so pathetic that he's looking into every aspect of my life right now. It's so pathetic. Dude, you're not hurting me one bit. You're not hurting me one bit. You want to call these people? Go right ahead and do it, bro. It's all good. You want to call Randy? Go and call Randy. Say hi to Randy for me. It's not a big deal, dude. I don't care. You're pathetic. You're a loser. He still can't get enough of me, Queen. It's so funny. Like, I don't even talk about the guy anymore. I've moved on. I don't watch his stuff. If he uploads my videos, I'll flag him down for copyright all day, every day. And trust me, whoops, I just hit my microphone. Give me a second here. Oops, give me a second. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, by the way, Ronaldo, yeah, there are plenty more for me to strike down. I just haven't gotten to them yet. So I'll give you a chance to remove them if you want. If not, one by one, I'm just going to take everything down. It's not a big deal, bro. And, you're going to jail in 30 days anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. All right. So there was one more thing that I was going to discuss here tonight. And I remember what it is. I'm not going to show this on the screen, but I'm going to read an email to you folks because I want to show you folks how good YouTube has become at taking care of things. Now, don't get me wrong. YouTube, compared to other social media platforms, takes longer to process process requests when people flag down content for hate speech, cyberbullying and harassment, etc., right? But eventually they do get to it. And additionally, when you become a part of the YouTube partner program, you do have access to creator support. And if you have a serious situation, they will escalate it to the YouTube internal team, and the YouTube internal team will look into it. Now, I will let you folks know that I have submitted several reports regarding many people that have completely violated and done so many negative things to me online that it has completely affected my monetized channel from making money by way of losing views, etc., right? And again, maybe some of you can figure out who these people are, but it's many people. And I got an email back tonight. I've been going back and forth with YouTube, and they've been looking into it, and they're taking the time to look into it because they're reviewing their entire system. They've got to go through copyright stuff. They got to go through community guidelines. They got to go through videos. They got to go through community posts. They got to go through a bunch of stuff, right? But this is what happened earlier tonight, or this is what was sent to me earlier tonight from YouTube creator support. Hi, Elias. I hope you started the week right. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I just want to update you regarding the status of the review submitted to your internal team. It turned out that this needs a more thorough check. We're doing our best to, hold on a second. We're doing our best to come up with a permanent fix. I really appreciate you for holding on with us while we go through this. I'm not going anywhere. I appreciate you guys. Please let me know if you have further concerns as we go along. All the best. And I'm not going to mention his name because, I don't want people contacting YouTube, and I'm not going to put this on the screen because it has, the response email number, and you know how that goes. People will mess around with that, right? Did he come back again, Queen? That's funny. Another angry Canadian incel. You keep slandering that 50-year-old doctor and you are going to lose your channel for it? And how's that going to happen? It's a public story. Do you understand that if you Google search it, and even if you look on YouTube, there are videos on the story? It's public information. So how are you going to shut my channel down for that? I'm just speaking facts. This guy has been harassing me for the longest time. And it's him just basically being angry and bitter, trying to say it's not him when it really is him. So that's fine. You've been saying that you're going to try to shut down my channel all this time. And how far have you gotten? Nowhere. Because I don't violate the guidelines. I don't violate the terms of service, sir. And you're just pathetic. You are. It's bottom line. How am I slandering the doctor when there's an article on him on the internet, many articles of him on the internet, a public space? It's public information, and there are many videos on YouTube regarding him from Florida news stations that cover the story when he got convicted of his crime. So how in the world is that slander? You tell me. How is that slander? You see, this is, again, another conservative thing, right? Because this guy doesn't like the fact that he got caught for trolling on YouTube for 3 years. And we all know who he is now. This guy's been harassing and harming people for 3 years. And now because we know who he is, he's got to come and threaten we're going to shut down your channel for slander. What am I doing to slander you? And if you're not the doctor, then why do you care? That's another thing, right? It's an honest question, dude. If you're not the doctor, then why do you care? And even if you are a doctor, like, you're a public figure. You're a public story. That's all you right-wingers say at times. You say, oh, it's slander. Oh, it's slander. Right. So see, when you slander us liberals, right, you say, oh, you're getting butthurt, right? When you do it to us and we say it's slander, then you say, no, you just can't stand criticism, right? But when we actually call you out on the truth, which is not slander, then you guys say we're slandering you. That's pathetic. That's hypocritical, man. That's another thing I have an issue with when it comes to, some right-wingers. And that's just my opinion. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just stating my opinion, sharing my experiences. That's all. That's all. But the trolls are out tonight. That's good. Matt Shengy owns ya. No, you don't own me, dude. It's slander. He's not on here. And what does it matter if he's on here or not? The story is public. And that's all I'm going to say. It's a public story on the internet and on YouTube, covered by many local Florida stations. You guys are pathetic, man. You guys are thinking you're triggering me or scaring me? Try again, man. God, how pathetic are these people, man? You just can't let it go. Like, why don't you guys just go watch another channel? You just love me that much? Wow. So let me just mention this, then I'm going to get on out of here because got some things to tend to and get some rest. They are getting kicked out the door. That's right, Queen Helen Casey. So one more time, let me read this again. I just want to update you regarding the status of the review submitted to your internal team. It turned out that this needs a more thorough check. We're doing our best to come up with a permanent fix. So in essence, to all of you out there that have attacked my channel, I don't have to mention specifics. You all know who you are. Just know that YouTube is taking my request seriously because I'm a good member of the YouTube partner program, and they want me to stick around because I'm going to make them money while I make myself money. We're good partners, right? They're taking care of me. I take care of them, right? We're a team, right? So in essence, they're trying to come up with a permanent fix to stop you guys from harming my channel anymore. And then you guys are out there saying that, oh, YouTube silences people, they censor people. YouTube, has the liberal agenda. YouTube this, YouTube that. No, YouTube's doing a great job. YouTube's done a phenomenal job. Now, are there times where they make mistakes? Sure. But who doesn't make mistakes? And if you didn't realize already, YouTube is the most difficult platform to moderate compared to all other social media platforms. There are over 500 hours of video uploaded every single minute. You try managing that and see if you can come even half as good or get the results half as good as what YouTube is getting. Yeah, is it perfect? No. But how else could you do it? They're doing the best they can. And they're making effort. And I'm seeing that effort from me right now, and I appreciate it. And that's why I wanted to do this video here today, because I'm sick and tired of people attacking these social media companies saying that we're trying to silence, or you're trying to silence our freedom of speech, right? You're trying to censor us. No, they're not trying to censor anybody. Because, again, I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I talk about the exact same subjects many of you right-wingers talk about, that you get demonetized or shut down for, and I don't. And I remain monetized on them. You know why? Because I present the material differently. I present it respectfully, maturely, and professionally. And I run a professional show here. I don't attack anybody. I'm not here to harm anybody. It seems like to me, the conservatives want to have freedom of speech to be able to attack and verbally abuse anyone they want to abuse. Again, whether it's a law or not, or a rule or not, or a guideline or not, or a terms of service violation or not, why would you want to live your life that way? Why would you want to be a hateful person? Does that make you happy to be a hateful person? And again, to you, Doc, I know you're watching, okay? Are you just angry and bitter again because you made a mistake that ruined your life? You lost your wife and your kids because of this? You lost your career? You had it all, dude. You ruined it for yourself. You only have yourself to blame. And because of that, and you haven't been able to work through it yet, you have to come out here on YouTube and project all that out here to anyone that's halfway decent, right? It's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic, man. YouTube, great job. Keep up the great work. Is it perfect? No. I don't even think you folks think it's perfect. But for what you have to deal with and the volume you have to deal with, I think you folks have gotten a lot better at handling this. I support you. I also support you to keep, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act the way it is. Yeah, my support on that. I don't think Trump should mess with that. I don't think Congress should mess with that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the whole thing, again, like I mentioned in my video on Friday, is a ploy. It was just for the president to get attention for his 2020 campaign of re-election and to appease his conservatives that he's going to bat for any conservative that he feels has had their freedom of speech silenced. No one has had their freedom of speech silenced. The only thing that's being silenced is hateful stuff. And I want no hate. I want nothing to do with hate. That's why I've banned a lot of people off my channel. The reason why I've banned many of you out there that are still watching me is because you're hateful people. You're filled with hate. You attack people. Okay? You go above and beyond the normal level of criticism. And the reason is because you just don't love yourself. That's it. You can change that and be a better person. And if you became a better person, then as a creator, you would present your content differently and you wouldn't violate guidelines because you wouldn't feel the need to attack people. You would present, once again, your content professionally, maturely, and in the proper ways. That's it. It's that. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. We are at 54 minutes. Folks, again, like I believe I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I had a really busy day today, so I got a members-only video out earlier, and I wasn't able to stream until, tonight late. Tomorrow, I don't think I'll be as busy with my day job, so I'll have a members-only video out before the afternoon or sometime at the beginning of the afternoon, and then I should have a stream going by around 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, maybe a little bit after that. So that's that. With that being said, I'm going to get on out of here. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Queen Helen Case, for moderating the chat, and anyone else that was here. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye. We're out. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.